as state sponsors of terrorism, working to overthrow other governments in the region like we're seeing with Yemen. I look forward to this opportunity for the Israeli Prime Minister to talk about security concerns vital for the survival of a democracy in that region.
Well, you know what the critics are saying? They're saying, well, you know, they didn't check with the White House. He's being rude. He shouldn't do this. He's being irresponsible, as some are sniping back home. Do you buy that?
No, listen, I'm not going to the speech because I'm Jewish. I'm going because I represent a district in New York, overwhelmingly proud of our relationships with our allies, loyal to them. We were deeply impacted by 9/11. We have a resolve and commitment to defeat elements that want to threaten our way of life. Enemies of Israel are enemies to the United States. So really, for any House Democrat or the Vice President on the fence, trying to figure out where the best place is for them to be that day, they should be in their seats. There should be no question.
Well, let's take a look back in 2011. Here's the Prime Minister speaking before a joint session of Congress, and right next to him, behind his shoulder over there in the usual spot, there's Joe Biden. Well, he ain't going to be there. It's going to be Orrin Hatch. I mean, are Democrats who want to boycott this speech, do you think they're being disloyal to our allies? And what message is there in those Democrats and critics who won't be there?
Really, they should be standing with Israel in this hour. They should be loyal to our strongest allies. You can still watch, you can watch now the video of Winston Churchill speaking before a joint session of Congress. This is the third time that the Israeli Prime Minister is going there. He was there in '96 and 2011. Years from now, decades from now, with everything that is ahead for Israel and the stability, the future of the Middle East, when they're looking at that video, they're looking at that picture and saying, where was the vice president? What was more important? When we had a historic unity rally in Paris, where was our president? Why was his plane flying to
where was Eric Holder was there, and he skipped out of Paris. But what about the election? I mean, it is like just 2 weeks before the Israeli election. You know what the critics are saying, that he's using it for his own domestic political propaganda purposes.
Well, time is sensitive because, as reports are showing, the U.S. Looks like they're willing to we're making foolish concessions to the Iranians, cutting a deal just to cut a deal that threatens the stability in that region. What happens when Iran is within 2-3 months of having the ability to have nuclear capability? What happens with other countries in that region that also are going to want nuclear capability when it happens?
I mean, do you fear that message, that with this controversy, bottom line, finally, that his message can be or will be lost with this controversy?
No, there's nothing else that should come between the message that the Israeli Prime Minister will have on March 3rd. They say that having him come undercuts America's foreign policy. If having the Israeli Prime Minister come, address the American people, if that undercuts America's foreign policy, there's something wrong with America's foreign policy.
Congressman Lee Zeldin, we thank you for coming in, and we trust and are sure that you will be there when he speaks, not boycott.